Story time. Who got the tea? Who got the tea? Yeah. Story time. Who got the tea? She got the tea. Yeah. Anything you need to know. Story time. Just tune into the show. Story time.
Thank you for tuning in to an episode of Tori Talk. I am here with David Abraham, the CEO of the LunchTable. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
For sure.
And then so I have a story about David. So I've been knowing him now since about 2011.
Sheesh.
It's been a long time.
That's good, yeah.
About like 20 pounds ago for me.
That
just shows how small. No, for real. Like that just shows how small I was then.
You were like literally like a stick.
I know.
A stick.
It was about like.
Was that college? Yeah,
107?
College. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were 107?
Yeah. So like I fluctuated between like 100 pounds and like 107 pounds. Like the first.
I mean that's how you get your grown woman weight. That's what it's called. Your grown woman weight.
I don't
like it. I don't think you can have a baby at 107.
Yes, you can. I didn't want to do.
It's gonna be malnourished. Like, has to be good.
I would not be looking forward to that. And at 26 and not 107, I still don't have one. In case you guys wonder. But I want to get started into the. So we play this game on the show, and it's like about spilling tea. So I want to get some tea on you.
Okay.
So the first question is, I said you seem like you like lunch, obviously, based on the name of the show.
All right.
So. Dinner or dessert, and why?
Dinner, for sure. Dinner is a balanced meal. It's something that brings everyone together. And I don't know, dinner is just something that I would look forward to versus dessert. I'm not really like a sweets guy, you know, but yeah, definitely dinner. Definitely dinner.
Okay, so what would you have for dinner?
I like steak. I like medium. Steak, not medium well, not well done, all that stuff, you know. Some white people. But
yeah. A bleeding
like
steak
medium.
is what you like.
I like medium. It's not really blood. I mean, we get into it, you know. But yeah, it's not really blood. But nah, steak, mashed potatoes, greens on the side, string beans, you know, a little piece of bread, and I'm set. I'm good.
Must be nice.
I'm good.
I'm now cut all of my stuff down to salad and.
Are you vegan?
No. Oh my gosh, no.
Let's
not go there crazy. I'm like,
you about to be
I ain't gonna do that.
that.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna try. I'm trying to do better. I'm in a wedding, so I'm like,
you gotta fit the dress.
Yeah, I gotta fit the dress. I gotta be on a beach because we're gonna be in Dominican Republic, so I need to be like.
Oh yeah, DR. I just came from DR.
I've never been. So this is my first time going.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I'm like looking forward. I've heard good things, so I'm like excited to go for myself. So question number 2: what qualities do you look for in a girlfriend?
Definitely somebody that has a humanitarian heart. I think that's very important. Somebody that knows God. Somebody that likes kids. You know, I feel like when girls say, I don't like kids, it's like, ew. Like, how am I supposed to build with you? How am I supposed to,
I don't understand
you know,
that
have a family?
You
or
were
like,
a kid.
yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. But yeah, I like girls that are funny. I like girls that, you know, can party sometimes, but at the same time, they know when not to party. They don't want to sit down and to focus, because that's important. You know, party animals, they usually die out kind of quick, or it's some effects to partying that much.
Okay.
It is.
So,
we'll get more into that on the next episode.
So more into that? Look, you want to tell them now. What do you mean more into that?
I mean, there's negative effects to partying every single weekend.
What do
you know,
what are they?
Because when you drink that much, it's bad for your liver. It's bad for all the sugar that's going to your teeth. You do gain weight most of the time because you don't want to wake up and go to the gym and all that type of stuff. Wine, all that stuff happens, and then it tires you out. You're not getting enough sleep. When you sleep, that's when your body is recovering. That's when your body is trying to, you know, like really get into the immune system and really get rid of any possible sicknesses that you have, so you get sicker faster. It's just a lot of negative effects. It's fun, but there's a lot of negative effects. So like party animals. It's weird because I'm a party promoter. I want you to party, but I don't want you to party that hard. And it's a lot of party promoters that I think that started off like that, partying hard and like turning up every weekend with the people that turn up. You can't do that. Yeah. Like, I'll be drinking water most of the time.
So whenever I think you drink, you're like, I'm gonna have water.
I'm gonna have water.
Thank you. And you enjoy.
And then don't eat after a certain time. That's another thing. When you come back from the club, you know, you be you hungry, bro. You drunk, you hungry, you go to McDonald's, you sleeping, you not going to work at all because you don't. Who wants to go to the gym after a hangover?
Yeah, that makes very sense. I mean,
it adds up. So I mean, it's just you got to know when to balance. Also, sure you got to know when to balance.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
So, party animal ladies, if you was trying to do this, you might need to like reevaluate some things because I don't know if it's gonna work out how you thought it was gonna work out.
Straight up. Straight up.
Okay, well the last question I have is, what was your favorite lunch item in school?
Peanut butter and jelly. I still to this day eat PBJs like it's second nature. It's so good.
Why do you eat it?
Peanut butter and jelly is so good. I mean, it's cheap. It's convenient.
It's cheap.
It's tasty. If you toast the bread, you can put bananas in it. You know, like there's so many different strategies. You can put hot fudge between if you really want to get more of a dessert type. So it's just like, I think that's just a go-to. Peanut butter and jelly is definitely a go-to. For sure, for sure.
Okay,
For sure,
well,
for
good
sure.
to know. That was in his lunchbox when he was growing up. Okay, so I want to talk to you about like some about your history. So like the big thing about my show is like it's very like DMV focused and very DMV based.
Okay.
So a lot of like all of my guests here are people from this area. So I want to know like how was growing up for you? Like where did you want to be? How was like being in school? Because now a lot of times like for me, I'll talk to somebody and it's like, oh, I wanted to be this when I grew up, and now I do something completely different.
It's it's crazy how that works. So, I played basketball all my life. So, you know, if you asked me this when I was 13 years old, but I'm playing in the NBA, you know. By 18, I was like, I just want to go D1. I just want to play overseas, whatever. So it's kind of like basketball was a big thing for me. And it's like basketball kind of is where I found my identity at.
Okay.
So that's what I was focused on majority of the time. But I also did media in high school a lot too.
Okay.
And I learned how to edit and do all that stuff in high school. And it was fun, you know, like it was something fun. I think, and anybody that plays sports loves being in arenas, you know, loves being in front of a crowd, loves doing stuff like that. So once you get used to that, you kind of have to find a way to stay in it, you know. So that was kind of like, for me, after basketball, after, you know, getting all that on the court, I liked being able to do it in media and be able to edit it and kind of skew it how I wanted to.
Like your own little group.
Yeah, my own. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what I wanted to do. And then it's just weird now because I'm a teacher now, and I used to give my teachers hell.
This is what happens.
So it's
you
like
mean to your teachers.
It's kind of, you know, it's weird. Like if somebody would have told me what I'm doing now, when I was like maybe 17, like, you know, about 10 years ago, I probably would have looked at them like, what? There's no way. I never thought I'd be DJing. You know, it's just stuff that just happens. And then, like, that's just the beauty of life, I feel like. It's just, you know, you just pick up the pieces, you dib and dab in different things, and everything's in seasons. You know, when you're in school, you're in a certain season. When you're out of school, you're into another season. Once you get married, you have kids, it's another season. Like, it's different stuff that interests you, different stuff that you want to get into, you know. And I think now that I don't have any kids, I'm not married yet, I want to try everything. I want to try it, you know. I want to try it now.
Well, that works.
I can't, you know. Yeah.
So I want to say like the last time I really like saw you and like had a conversation, like a longer form one, like that in passing. I think you were at like a community college or something, and then I like looked up again. I think that you were at Towson. So like, how was that time frame in life?
Ooh, well, community college is definitely like one of those stepping stone things. It definitely challenges you because it's hard. In my opinion, it's harder than being in a 4-year. Community college, you don't have a dorm to go back to. You know, most of the time you're working, I was playing basketball in community college. So it was like trying to balance all of that, staying 20, 30 minutes from the school versus 10 or, you know, 15. Like, it's just a little harder. And then trying to identify yourself with the community college and then wondering how I'm going to get out of the community college. Like, should I graduate first from community college and just, it's just, I don't know, like community college can really challenge you to like either quit school or keep going. Yeah. So I encourage anybody that's out there, if you are in community college or if you are about to graduate, community college is not a bad thing. I spent little to no money in community college. It's way cheaper than a 4-year. And, you know, it does challenge you and you will, you know, have to figure out where to go from there. So it was weird when I got my acceptance letter in 2000. I took a picture of it. I still have it in my memory box because I was just so excited. My older brother went to Towson and my sister went to Towson.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, you up next, big fella, like, go ahead in there. So, yeah, it was an exciting time to transition from community college to Towson and move out and, you know, get my apartment out there. It was an exciting time. Definitely
Okay.
exciting time.
So, if I can remember correctly, so the lunch table kind of happened in like 2015?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
So I was finishing school.
Mm-hmm.
Were you done in 2015?
No.
You said that. So I finished. I had to do an
yeah.
extra year,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was hearing some things like, you know, like we ain't that far. I mean, you was in Baltimore and I was here, but it was like, oh, the lunch table. I said, oh, what is that? And I'm hearing stuff, and I'm like seeing stuff, and then like post college, I kept seeing people with this stuff. I said, what is this stuff? And then like an ex-boyfriend of mine tried to explain it to me, and he was like, yeah, you know, like his name's David. I was like, David who? What you talking about? Like he was like, you should know David. I was like, I don't know if I know him. And then it was like, I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, okay, yes, Dave, I do know this. And I was like, can you tell me what the like company is about? And he was like trying to describe it, and it was like the worst description I've ever heard.
It's hard to put the lunch table in a box.
So you tell us what the lunch table is and how did this whole idea come about?
Okay, so in 2015, I had just now changed my major from phys ed to communications, and it was like a very weird time for me because I was supposed to be done school. You know, like when when you're in school, you're like, I'm ready to get out. You know, my friends I graduated, I went to high school with. They graduated. Everyone's posting these pictures. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I was 22 at the time. So 22 is when most people are graduating. So it was just a very stressful time. A lot of peer pressure to finish, you know. And at Towson, I didn't really have a true identity, you know, like, because I didn't play basketball. I wasn't really involved in any clubs. You know, I partied. But who didn't party? You know, I threw my own parties every now and then. But I didn't really have an identity. And I missed media. I truly missed media. So I was like, I'm going to get a job with a media company. You know, I want to be a host. Great.
No internship?
No internship. I didn't really know. Because it's like, you know, you see it, but you don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
I didn't do any research. I didn't think to even do that. So I applied to like...
Okay. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Sign me up, coach, put me in. So I didn't get hired anywhere, surprisingly. So I was like, but I applied. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna try my own thing. So then I got my laptop and I basically just started recording stuff. I invited people to my house. We talked about this, that, and the third. You know, marketing tactics. I got people that people want to see, people want to talk, you know, the hierarchies in the school, like the Greeks and the sports players. Invited all them to the show. They came. Great time, you know, like, then people started paying attention, you know, that's when, like, oh, okay, he's actually serious, because, you know, when people first start stuff, you know, everybody starts something, everybody starts something, you know, but there's no respect to it, and there's no respect for it until it's consistent, and they see how passionate you are with something, and they can see you actually doing it, because everybody wants to be a rapper, everybody wants to be a host, or everybody wants to start their own show, but those usually don't last. Like 9 times out of 10, most beginning small businesses do not prosper the way they wanted to. So when people say, it was like, okay, cool, yeah, good for you, but I feel like after a while, when people started saying how serious I was, you know, they started taking it more serious, and then I made it a campus. So spring 2015 is when I started it. Over the summertime, I made it an actual organization on campus. So by fall 15, it was an actual organization on campus. I had a videographer, I had an editor. Like, people wanted to join in, you know, because they saw it moving up. People wanted to join in. At first, it was really hard because this team was so small. I was doing pretty much everything by myself. And then it just started evolving. We started having, like, showcases on campus. During homecoming time, they got really big. And after I graduated, I expanded it to different universities because I realized the demand, you know.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Like, so why college campuses? Like, why did you choose to do it there?
Well, college is a great market. Everybody is kind of trying to find themselves in college, just like I was.
Yeah.
And I feel like when that time comes and you want to do media, which is never going out, stuff like this is only going up.
Yeah.
You know, so I felt like that was the perfect time to actually start doing it. Is college, because you know, you're young, you're fresh, got a lot of energy. College is definitely the best time to do, I think, to start anything, you know, is in college. So yeah, I mean, I took it up the street. Morgan was right up the street from Towson. Coppin State was right up the street from Towson. I knew people at East School that were into media. I reached out, teams, people started coming, you know, but they had seen it. I think if they didn't see the work that I had already done at Towson, it would have had no chance at all. And sometimes you really have to stand on your own and fight for what you believe, fight for your passion, for, you know, in order to expand and in order for people to actually respect it. So I think that's what happened. Morgan, Coppin, and then next semester after that, I had already graduated at this point, because that is when I actually had time. So Morgan and Coppin, and then the next semester I extended to University of Maryland and Bowie State, and that's when everybody was like, wait a minute, like, it's actually...
Well, I think by Bowie State, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Y'all talking about this a little too much now. I don't know what this is, and this is not in Baltimore, so what are you talking about?
Yeah, we started moving into the PG side, and it was difficult because I still lived in Baltimore. So me driving, my poor car, I put so many miles on my car with TOT, so much time, so much endless effort at this point. So from UMD to Bowie State, and then the very next semester we did it at Howard. And Howard was like the big, like I always say Howard.
Where you now?
Whatever.
Well.
Relax. But I mean, relax. But yeah, I mean that's kind of how it happened. It's just spiral effect. And it just became more and more, you know, it just started growing. And you know, with growing comes growing pains. Certain stuff that, you know, I never knew I had to do, like, it's just so much little stuff that you don't think of, you know, like when they're developing all these teams, you need guidelines, you need rule books. The students are still in college, you know, like the social media aspects, like all the little things that become big problems as the company grows and you didn't take care of when it started, it starts to come back. So, you know, paperwork, starting to type stuff up, starting to have stuff on documents, like all of that stuff started to come back up. So it's just growing now at this point. But the actual, this is why it's so hard to explain. We do so many different things that it's just hard to put it in a box. So I had to construct an actual sentence that said what the Lunch Table is. So the Lunch Table is a media platform that brings voice to the community through electronics, media, films, and events.
Perfect.
I think I
know what that is. I think I can gather what it is.
You know, so people saw us doing parties. They saw us doing showcases. They saw us interviewing people. They saw us doing random stuff on social media. And they're like, whatever that is, cool. You know, I like it. But there was no real, what is it? You know? So that's the sentence. That you know, that's our mission statement. So to give voice to the community.
Why the Lunch Table? Like, why the title? Like, where did this come about?
So it was a bunch of different things that I was gonna name it. I really wanted to call it Happy Hour. It was like this close to being like Happy Hour special with DavyJ and blah blah blah. But I was taking like this marketing class thing that was saying how not to shorten your audience just by like a title. So I was thinking of something universal. My favorite part was in high school and everything was lunch, because you got to talk. You know, like in class every day. They're like, don't talk. Do your work. Lunch was when you can actually like, hey, what's up? You see the game. Talk about anything and everything at the lunch table. So even at work, my favorite time is sitting in the lunchroom. Hey, what's up? Like, you know, it's just a social time and you talk about everything. So I think the Lunch Table was the perfect name for what we do. Because we talk about anything, everything. We do anything, everything.
And when you started, you were having people at your house talking over a table.
Yeah, over a table. Exactly.
Okay, that works. So why is like the clothing aspect? Because other than just hearing it, I started seeing like girls in hats and girls in shirts and just stuff. I was like, okay, what? That's why again I'm asking, like, what are you? Is it a clothing line? Like y'all not telling me what it is, and it's like to promote the business. But like, how did that whole part of it? And it's a big part of your business, right?
Yeah, definitely a big part of the business. I got some merch for you too, by the way. So after this, I'm gonna give you all shit.
Oh, thank you.
So I think that's one of the main marketing tools that a lot of people don't get. You know, when they're starting something, even anything. If you start anything, merchandise helps a lot. And you know, anything that you put on a shirt could mean whatever. Like Nike has a check. What does that check mean? Like, it's a check. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
really don't know.
but Nike defined it as something else.
Yeah.
You know, that check became more. The whole just do it became a movement.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was trying to do with my merchandise was to, you know, show everybody it's a movement. You're supporting, you know, an entrepreneur. You're supporting a business. You're supporting a media platform. And it does make brand awareness go up sky high, you know. So we should probably get some Tori shirts, you know.
They're in the works, David, you know, like.
But I mean,
it's me.
but that's why
I make them all.
But the thing is, that's why I'm glad I didn't make it like a DavyJ or like David thing, because it would be. I feel like it's more. It would probably be harder to get somebody to wear a DavyJ shirt versus a LunchTable shirt. Yeah, with my face on it. So I think, you know, and it's more universal. Everybody knows what a LunchTable is, and this logo. The funny thing about this guy named Oscar, shout out to Oscar, if you're watching this, I'll make sure I post this and send this to you, because I'm definitely giving you a shout out for this. He hit me up and was like, man, do you need a logo? I was like, yeah. I was broke at the time, I had no money. He sent me like 3 different options for a logo, and they were all nice. And they were like this, and he had one specific one that was like a black and yellowish gold one, and that was the one that I picked. I was like, dude, thank you so much. He didn't ask for anything. He just wanted to make it.
You didn't pay him or nothing? He just gave it to you?
He gave it to me. It was like a black, like stuff like that had happened. That's why I really think that God really ordained for this to happen, because it's certain times in my career with all this that like stuff just came out of like nowhere, and it was like, wow, like y'all really doing this for me. Like even a theme song, we have a theme song, and my friend Eddie and Free, they were in the rap game like really heavy at the time, and they helped me put together a theme song with Kevin. Like it was like. We have a whole theme song now. That costs like $200, $300, maybe $400 to put together.
I
know
it
for free. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know. Okay. Cool. You know, I did for any group work. What's up? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just stuff like that happened along the way. That's why when people say they're self-made or you know stuff like that, it really bothers me, because nobody is self-made.
Not really. No.
You know, like everybody somewhere along the line helped you with something, and to say you're self-made. And, you know, to try to put on the front and try to make that seem like that's the way to success, that's 100% false.
Yeah.
Everybody helped you with something along the way. And if it wasn't people that helped me and supported me, I wouldn't be where I am, period. Like, it's people that edited some of our stuff for free that, you know, if people ask me, yo, you know, editor, yes, they're great. You know, people that need music, yes, this person's great. They need logos, yes, go to this guy, like, he's great. And it's kind of just like a trade and offer. But really, if people don't help you along the way, you won't get there, period. I don't care how strong you think you are, how much you think you know, you have to get help along the way. You have to.
I mean, I agree with that. I think it's like you said about the little things. I think it's one of the things that you don't necessarily think about, and then you realize like, okay, well, I need help with this, and this, and not everything is going to be your expertise.
It's not.
You may know how, kind of, but you always going to need somebody to help.
That's
so
an
I
expert,
think that,
right.
it definitely makes a lot of sense to me. So would you say that like since everything started from like 2015 to now, that you like have like some sort of like media type of access now? Like there's some more things that you can do. Can you talk about that? Like I saw like something with like BET or something like that. So like how has this now in 2018?
So somebody told me a while ago that the more you're in your industry, the luckier you get. So the more you dive into your industry, the more time you spend, the more time you spend around people in the industry, the luckier you get. I don't like to use the word lucky, but you know that's the word they used. That was their word choice. But I understand what they were saying.
Yeah. So
the more you dive into what you're doing, the more opportunities come, and that's pretty much what happened. You know, you keep knocking on something, you might not get the big door, but then you'll get another door, and then you know it's just so it was basically a spiral effect. I knew people, they knew people. You know, the whole BT thing, I took a leap of faith and it came out good, you know? So it's like, stuff like that happens, and, you know, they're big milestones in your career because it seems so far out, you know, from what you think you can do. Yeah. And then when it actually comes and you do it, it's like, wow, like, I really did that. But then when you're there, like, your competitive mindset is like, oh, I'm here, but I want to be up there. I still want to grow, you know, like, so it's like people see it and like, oh, you did it? Yeah, I did. You know, I've interviewed celebrities before. Great, but now I want my platform to be bigger, so when I do interview these celebrities, it's higher, and they're hitting me up to interview, to get interviewed versus us hounding them. You know what I'm saying?
Get with the managers and all that
Exactly. So, you know, everything just kind of comes over time, but as long as you are in your field and, you know, really working to get to where you need to, something will come out of it. You know, people are watching. Even if they don't double tap, they ain't always going, you know, they're not always going to double tap it, but they see it. Put it like that. They see it.
Yeah.
They see you working.
So what advice, I mean, that was something that you would give like a young journalist or a young entrepreneur who wants to start, not even something that has anything to do with what you've done, but like, what advice would you give to them?
I would tell them to take the worst job at the best place. So, for instance, I was working with Radio 1 for a while, 92Q, shout out 92Q fan. And I was on a promotions team, and I got so much experience with media and getting to see different things and working with radio personalities, but I was the one setting up the tents in the rain. I was the one handing out stuff at 7-Elevens, you know, stuff that people wouldn't want to do, but they would want to get the title for working with that company. Yeah. But it looks good on your resume. You know, you get to being the guy or the girl that, you know, is emptying the recycling bins. You're emptying every person's recycling bin. Yeah. You might be the only person in that building that talks to every single person in the building. So it's just different things to do and different ways to go about your path to success. Yeah. And I feel like, honestly, it's kind of like you paying your dues, you know. You emptying recycling bins around the office, but you're also, you know, building up your tolerance to be able to handle stuff that's bigger than emptying the recycling bins in the office. You know, all of the people that are there started somewhere. They didn't get, you met them at their point. Yeah. You know, you didn't meet them at their point when they were doing the stuff that you were doing. Yeah. So they always seem like, you know, they're above you or but they're at their point. You met them where they were. So, you know, it's hard sometimes, especially in media. There's not a lot of money in it at first. It's not.
It's
media is not.
Yes.
It's a lot of money you're spending. So until you get to a certain point where your media and what you're doing, what you're talking about, what you're writing about is at such a high demand or gets such amount of attention, you're not getting paid. Because the only way the LunchTable gets paid is through advertisements. If nobody wants to watch it, nobody wants to sell their ads on it. You know what I'm saying? True. Like, so it takes a while. I know first 2.5 years, we didn't get no money off of this. Like, you know, like it wasn't, you know, we were in the red for a while. I was in the red for a while. And then when I went full-time entrepreneurship and I actually quit my job, that was something that I still look back on like,
how did you do it? Why did you do it?
What was I doing? Like, you know, but it's just, it was something that I felt was necessary at the time. And I really wanted to try the whole full-blown, everyday wake up, be in the office, you know, but it taught me a lot because when I was doing it, now if I did it, I would know what to do. Yeah. But before, it was something just like a dive. Yeah. It was a trial and error kind of thing. I made a lot of errors.
But you still have a business. I
still have a business, you know. And
it could have.
It would not. Yeah, honestly, and it would not have grown to where it is now if I did not take that 1.5 years to myself and do full blown. Like it, not even close. Not even close. So everything happens for a reason. Anybody out there that wants to quit their job and do full-time entrepreneurship, I would say 1, have a good savings first. Don't just off your next check be like, I'm out of here. Save up first. 2, definitely have an established way to make your income before you quit. So if you are a shirt business or if you are, you know, any business that you have and you want to quit, make sure you're making enough to at least cover your bills. So you should already be making money from what you're doing before you just quit your job. So what I would do is, if I go back, I would have took my Comcast checks and put them somewhere else and only try to live off of what I was making off of my business first. You know, and if you can do that, cool, quit. If not, you got some more work to do before you quit. Seriously, you got some more work because it's definitely ass kicking. It's definitely ass kicking.
And I think it sounds good
to
say, I'm an entrepreneur, you know, I have my own business, full-time. And I understand if you can do that and if you have a business that you can sustain, like you were saying, but it's really not that easy. And like even for people who are talking to me about this show, like I have a full-time job. I work and I do this Also.
And you off today, so it's like...
Yeah, I'm off today.
But you're not off.
But I took off.
Yeah.
From work. So it's like...
I hope her job sees this.
They knew I was off. It wasn't off for your interview. It was off because it's the holiday and I got leave because I go to work.
Okay.
Because I work, I have a significant amount of leave.
Okay.
But no, like one of the things about one of the things about it is that I think you have this idea like that this is gonna kind of be the thing you can do full time, and I get it. But like I wanted to go right out of college and directly into at Fox or at one of these big one of these things and like start working doing journalism. But Sally Mae made it very clear to me that I was gonna need to go to work, so I was not gonna be able to do it. But I think, like you were saying, like I think this is the best time in my life for me because now from my full-time job, I have more money to be able to do these passion projects on the side. Whereas if I was like 22 fresh out of college, I didn't have that money. I was working, but not like I'm working now. So it's a key thing I think that David just told y'all to please focus on. Like I can't stress it enough. Like that is like a jewel that he just gave you guys. So one of the things like now that I'm thinking about it for you, what would be like you would say like in your favorite interview thus far, and like if you had a like
favorite show.
Well, not a favorite show, and then like for your dream interview, like who would it be, and what would you talk about?
My favorite show that I did was the first show. That was hands down my favorite show. What we used to do was we used to actually drink on set, and my first.
If you're not 21, don't be trying to drink and watch the show. I'm not promoting it.
We're not promoting it.
Not promoting it. I make sure I said it.
Yeah,
so it's out there.
It's wrong. Don't drink. But yeah, we used to drink on the show, and we would just talk.
Yeah.
We had like cue points, but like that was it. But it was just so raw. We didn't edit it, nothing. It was just raw. And I think that's kind of what I missed. But that had like hella views, and people watched. I looked at analytics. People watched the whole thing. A lot of people on YouTube, they only watch like the first 2 minutes. People watch the whole thing, and I think that was before Instagram videos. That was before Twitter videos. So people, if they wanted to see something, they really had to watch the whole thing on YouTube.
We sound so old. We were before.
Before.
We were the before videos.
Video, and yeah, we were one of those. We're now that.
I know, we're now that.
I think Vine ruined it for everybody.
Yeah,
With those 6 seconds, because people's attention span is so quick. But I think that was definitely my favorite episode. We were talking about cheating. We were talking about, how you can tell your significant other's cheating. It was just so funny because like it was my roommate and it was my friend that lived up the street, and it was just like fun. We were just talking like we would normally talk, and we recorded it. It was like perfect. It was perfect. But now getting more in the media, you can't just do that. People don't want to watch that, unfortunately. But if I could interview one person, I would want to interview Obama. But I wouldn't want like the Barack Obama. Like I would want him like I would want to interview him like chilling at like a bar, like coffee shop, and like I just want to get into his head, like what he really went through when he was being the president versus the sugarcoated side. I want like the raw, really talk to him like what was going on, what do you think about what's going on now. I would just love to sit down with Obama and do that. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if it does, I'm gonna refer back to this video.
And I'll say, it's from this.
Yeah, I think that would be dope. Drake, I think Drake would be a dope interview.
Oh, that's my husband.
You alright over
No,
there?
I had a moment, but it's okay.
I had a fan over.
I had a moment. Oh, he mentioned Aubrey. Why Drake?
Boy, but yeah, I think Drake is the greatest rapper alive right now. Give or take, don't quote me, but he's the greatest rapper alive, and I feel like there's so much people don't know about Drake, and I feel like it's just certain things we gotta get out of him that the world is not seeing yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like dream, but everybody else, I feel like everybody else is attainable, honestly. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, of course, they're like on a different.
They're not
on a different plane. They're not even in the conversation. They're in a different plane. But I think everyone else is honestly attainable. Like eventually, I feel as though either myself or my company will interview all those people. And it's, I don't care if it's like a short interview, long interview. We're gonna interview those people. So the dreams, Obama and Drake. But I feel like honestly, at the rate that we're going, in the direction that we're going for our revamp in 2019, look out.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what's next?
Revamp in 2019. That's gonna be dope. So next for us, I'm putting together a festival for next summer. We are also doing like a Miami takeover for spring break. All those wild Miami people that's going down there, we gonna see y'all down there. And then we're opening up new departments. So we're also giving out a job application for TLT now, so you can now apply to TLT. We have training stuff set up for people that apply, and we're gonna really expand beyond the college students.
Yeah.
Put it like that, because I mean, college students are great, you know, but we need some older professional people in it now too. So that's kind of what we're opening up for, is like older professional people. We got our sales team that's really got to start kicking. And once we start generating enough money, we can start paying people. Like, I'm going to be writing checks soon, which is like crazy. Like, I'll be writing LunchTable Blog Show, DavyJ, sign and pay people. So that's the goal. Like, have full-time employees, give them health benefits. All that stuff should be happening in 2019. And that's when everything is really going to start going crazy. I think that's going to be big. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for you.
Excited.
Like I said, all the buzz I hear even more buzz, and I'll be excited.
Oh
for you
yeah,
in
yeah.
2019.
The buzz is gonna be great. I mean, I have my own printing press now, so I can print my own TLT merch. That's why I'm like, you need a shirt, hey, pull up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little stuff, you know, that took time. I remember my first set of shirts, I paid outrageous money for it that I should not have paid.
How much did you pay?
I paid too much. Like it was like almost $20 a shirt.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like.
And how many shirts did you order?
Like 12.
Oh, that's a lot though.
That's a lot.
Small,
You know what I'm saying?
So imagine
Like,
for the big number.
That's a lot. I mean, no, the big number. The thing is, the more shirts, the cheaper. But I mean, I didn't know stuff like that, and I didn't really know how to invest and get it back. I was scared. You know, if I spend $200, am I gonna get my $200 back? I was like nervous. Now I'll spend it because I know I'm gonna get it back. So it's like stuff like that, you know, happens over time. But the one thing that I will say is that everything happens at a time for a reason. And I'm starting to understand that now versus any other point in my life, because when stuff happens, it's the right time. Yeah. So if I would have had some of the stuff I have now when I first started, I wouldn't know how to handle it. I wouldn't have been able to control it. I would have probably lost my mind. You know, seriously, I would have lost my mind. But now that, you know, I'm older, I'm more mature, I understand a lot more. When stuff comes, I get it, and I know how to handle it. So, but I wanted to be here when I first started. Yeah. Everybody wants to do that. So the fact that I now know that everything is a process and it all takes time, and the stuff that you learn throughout the process is only going to help you with the next thing and the next thing. It really helps, you know. Now I'm not in a rush. Yeah. There's an urgency, but I'm not in a rush. It's two different things. Yeah. So I understand that the stuff that I'm learning, stuff that I'm going through, is only going to help me with the bigger things. You know, you can't eat the watermelon unless you already eat the grape, kind of thing. So I don't know if that was an analogy or not.
I think you made that up.
I made that up, yeah. But it's you get it though, right? Some of the small, give it the big. I don't know.
Yeah. Something small before you can get something big. Yeah. Boom. Just made it up. You heard it here first. Something small, like a grape, before you get something big, like a watermelon. Literally, just made it up right now. Just
that'll work, that'll work.
So, thank you so much. No, I'm not cutting this out. Thank you so much for the interview. Can you please let the people at home know where they can follow you, because you have your own personal stuff as well as your business.
You can follow me at DavyJ the Virgo _. The only reason why it's an underscore because my first Instagram, DavyJ the Virgo, was deleted. I still to this day do not know why it was deleted or how it was deleted. I never got
Somebody reported you.
But I don't know what. But I don't know why. Like, all my stuff's clean.
What did you do to somebody?
That's the real question.
What did you do?
They know who did it. But anyways, follow me at DavyJ the Virgo _. Please follow my business page at TLT Blog Show. Follow the Angels page, which is the TLT Models, at TLT Angels. And then I have Wine and Slow Jams Thursday in Baltimore and Friday in DC. Follow at Wine and Slow Jams. We follow back, I promise. All those pages follow back.
They do follow back?
We follow back.
They are following me and haven't followed me ever since.
Unfollow? We don't unfollow.
No, not unfollow. Listen, they've been following me ever since. So, again, thank you so much.
For sure.
And tune in next time, everybody. Bye.
Tori talk. Who got the tea? got the tea, yeah. It's Tori talk.